The World Bank is concerned that the current growth in global economy and the markets are not well inclusive and impacting on women and young people. The World Bank chief, Jim Yong Kim, believes investments in affordable healthcare and education are part of human capital investments that must be scaled up as quickly as possible.
All countries need to invest more in their people. Last week I spoke at Columbia University where I explained why this is so critical, and I introduced an accelerated effort we're undertaking at the World Bank Group called the Human Capital Project that will help countries invest more and more effectively in their people.
For developing countries such as Africa, the World Bank says it is imperative to build hubs of stability from the continent's north all the way down.
We support governments. The public sector side of the World Bank Group supports governments to make reforms, and then the private sector side works with private investors to invest more. And what that does eventually is it frees up money to invest in human beings, and that's just what Egypt is doing. Now, we continue to be deeply engaged. We have a very large portfolio. The whole portfolio is about $8 billion. But growth, stability, and the reduction of inequality, better provision of social services is not just critical for Egypt, it's critical for the entire region.
On Nigeria, the World Bank chief believes progress has been made on Boko Haram insurgency, but advises more investments in human capital and laying foundation for a sustainable future economy.
I think Nigeria, of course, has suffered from the drop in the oil prices. I think things are just now getting better, but the conversation we need to have with Nigeria, I think, is in many ways related to the theme that I brought to the table just this past week, which is investment in human capital. Right? The percentage of GDP that Nigeria spends on healthcare is less than 1%. And despite the fact that there's so much turbulence in the northern part of the country and that there is the hit that was taken from the drop in the oil prices, Nigeria has to think ahead. And investing in its people, investing in the things that will allow Nigeria to be a thriving, rapidly growing economy in the future is what the country has to focus on right now. It can't rely just on oil prices going back up. It has to think, what are going to be the sources of growth in the future for Nigeria in what will surely be a more digitalized economy?
Next week, the World Bank says it plans to launch a multi-million-dollar initiative on women entrepreneurship financing in the United States. This is one initiative that forms a new direction of reducing inequality and including a global economy that leaves no one behind. Bosun Amafaye for Channels Television News.